He kōna ipurangi tēnei nā te reo irirangi o Aotearoa.
It's a bit of a personal question.
Depends on the person.
It depends what it is.
One of those things that is a personal option.
How often do you wash your clothes?
We do a wash probably every second day.
I'm probably doing one a week.
Just do washing usually Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Honestly, I just wash everything every time I wear it.
But do we wash our clothes too often?
Some people do, I think, and then I think some people don't wash them enough.
Washing less is supposed to be good for the longevity of your clothes.
If you're a sweaty, smelly person, you should probably wash your things more often.
Kia ora, I'm Katy Gosset and welcome to Thrift. As regular listeners will know, we always like to kick off with a saying. This time it's a French proverb. Translated, it means, we should wash our dirty linen in private, apparently quoted by Napoleon in 1815 when he returned from exile. So this episode's all about dirty linen or dirty laundry. Probably most of us do wash it privately, but now we're bringing it out into the open. I got thinking about it after we did an episode on energy efficiency, looking at the power that goes on heating water. And then we considered mindful fashion and how washing items less can prolong their life. And so I wondered, is this another area where we can save money?
I think we do tend to wash things too much. I don't think we need to. Unless there's some kind of odour or dirt build-up, it's really not necessary.
That's Tara Strangwick, a textile and product development specialist. And when I drop in on her at home, she's hanging out her washing.
This is my new washing rack that I love. I actually take great joy in this. Look at that.
Yeah, it looks high-end, stable.
Stable.
And she's someone who knows her way around the fabric she's handling. Tara spent the last 25 years in the textile and apparel industries in the United States, the United Kingdom and New Zealand. She's travelled extensively to mills and factories in Indonesia and China, focusing on product development and quality sourcing for large retailers. She's previously worked for Kathmandu and the New Zealand Merino Company here in Aotearoa. So she's used to developing a product to meet a brief. Not needing to wash your clothes as often is not always one of those criteria, but if you do want to cut your washing costs, Tara's got some thoughts. And tip one is to start with the textile itself.
If you're looking at washing less, natural fibres tend to smell less than synthetics alternatives. So wool, garments and textiles are naturally odour resistant.
It's because the wool fibre can absorb large amounts of water vapour.
Twice as much as cotton and actually 30 times as much as polyester.
That draws the water away from your skin, which has a good result at a personal level.
That's going to stop you from smelling.
And when it comes to your finances.
You can wear them for longer and wash them less.
Wearing wool can also keep you cool in the summertime, which is what Tara does, and she's not the only wool fan.
I hand knit a lot of my garments, so with wool, if it's visually okay, if it smells alright, it's probably alright.
Then of course some people find wool itchy. Tara says fibre selection is a complicated business. There are always trade-offs, as all the criteria are taken into account.
You need to consider the price, sustainability,
the aesthetics or design,
the desirability of the fabric, how it's going to be printed or dyed or finished.
Then there's the quality of the fabric and how it performs.
Making sure that it doesn't shrink or pill, that the colour fastness is right.
When it comes to textile selection, Tara says synthetics still have a place.
Absolutely. Synthetic fabrics are going to last longer from a durability perspective. If any of you've got fleece garments, they'll last for years and years.
They also shrink less than natural fibres, and that general resilience can save you money in a different way. But if we're looking at whether something needs washing, Tara says synthetics aren't as breathable as natural fibres.
There's more opportunity for odour build-up in products like that.
Some products do now contain antibacterial or antimicrobial additives, although these do tend to be specialist outdoor or high-performance garments.
Those additives will help to reduce the microbial growth on the surface of the fabrics, meaning that you can wear them for longer and not have to wash them as much.
But it's not just about the fabric, it's also about the kind of garment it is. I think we can all agree there are some things that need to be washed after every use.
I don't know what other people do, but with underwear you want to wash that fairly frequently.
If it's like a t-shirt or something close fitting, I will wash it more often.
But what can we get away with leaving a bit longer? One garment that lots of people seem to have an opinion on.
Jeans not very often.
Jeans maybe once every couple of weeks.
Things like jeans, I don't wash jeans very often anyway.
There's even a theory that you might be able to get away with not washing your jeans by popping them in the freezer. We're going to come back to that one a bit later on. The thing about this particular topic is that it's hard to pin down. If you look online, you'll find a whole bunch of different charts that indicate a certain number of wears of a type of garment before you wash it. But a lot of these charts aren't really attributed to any particular piece of research. So it feels like a lot of it is up to our discretion.
Wash things when they're not clean.
I basically just smell it, and if it needs a wash, I'll wash it.
And Tara agrees.
I think we have these hard and fast rules that if something's been worn for a couple of days that it must be washed. But for me, if it doesn't smell and it's not dirty, I'm not putting it in the wash.
Now, we're all different. Those of you who are a bit more particular may be getting your ick on or feeling a bit uncomfortable about not washing your clothes every day. There is an interesting study that speaks a bit more to the psychology of washing. It was carried out in 2024 by the Chalmers Institute of Technology in Sweden, and it found that when it comes to washing, the fear of being perceived as dirty often wins out over the desire to act in an environmental way. And the more we feel disgusted, the more we wash our clothes, using each garment fewer times before chucking it in the laundry bin. That study is focused on sustainability, but of course there's an impact on our wallets too. So tip 2, or the next group of tips, is about ways we can avoid putting our clothes in the washing machine for just a bit longer. And top of the list is
airing your clothes, hanging them up, looking after them in the first instance so that you can get more wear out of them is really the best thing.
Now that sounds obvious, but in fact I very seldom air my clothes. I do air towels, and Tara was doing that when I arrived, as she's got teenagers.
The boys just don't air them out at all. And they're going to go mouldy and smelly, and if you want to stop them from doing that, just air them straight away.
Which will save on power and a heap of work.
Otherwise, you're going to be doing loads and loads of towel washing for no reason.
And towels in particular are large items which will use a lot of water, as will bedding. Again, it's up to our discretion, but if you can air rather than wash, that can make a big difference.
If you can hang your duvets on the line, I know that's very common in some of the Scandinavian countries, it's a good thing just to air out your bed. The more moisture is trapped in there, the more likely it is for bacteria to grow. I think airing is a very underestimated tool in our laundry cabinet.
Getting back to clothes, other things you can do to save costs are spot clean your garments if there's a small mark, rather than running the washing machine, and pre-treat stains to avoid multiple washes. Then again, why not try and avoid staining your clothes in the first place?
We'll get dressed in the morning, we'll brush our teeth, and we drop toothpaste on us, or we get stuff on us when we're feeding the children.
Which could lead to quite a bit of laundry.
We have to wash those clothes or spot clean them to get those marks out.
When instead you could be rocking a retro fashion garment.
I'm all about the renaissance of the pinny or the apron, or even the house coat. I think it could be a really cool fashion item. So budding designers out there, think on.
It's worth noting that when I visit Tara, she is actually wearing a pinny.
I wear my pinny all the time. It's common sense, really, and I think they're a much maligned thing that we should use a bit more of.
Reclaim the pinny.
Reclaim the penny.
And while you're doing that, you're actually reclaiming another precious asset, your time.
Just time consuming. I don't want to wash them every other day.
I don't know why you would want to do more washing than you have to.
Tara is totally on board with this one.
Just to reduce time spent doing laundry, because time is money and washing is boring, frankly.
Tara's been trying to reduce her time spent doing laundry ever since her mother first talked to her about ironing.
That comes back to the conversation we were having on fibre selection, that if you buy products that don't need ironing, you can just shake them out and hang them up to dry. Again, you're going to be reducing energy costs because you're heating an iron. Don't do it. Don't waste your time.
I feel a line of anti-laundry merchandising coming on.
I can see bumper stickers.
Yeah. Laundry, don't do it.
So we can do everything in our power to avoid it, but eventually the laundry must be done. Tip 3 from Tara is about getting it right.
Here we go. So on every label you'll find washing instructions, and you'll find these little symbols.
We've all seen the care labels in our clothes. Of course we have. But how many of us actually read them?
A lot of people just put their things in the wash and they don't really follow the care label, and it's going to stain, it's going to shrink, you might get holes. So if you want your products to last a long time, then make sure you look after them.
I'm going to put my hand up with the guilty admission that I often don't follow the care labels.
A lot of companies spend a lot of time making sure that you get the best out of your product, so follow the care label.
One obvious way to trim costs is by ditching the hot water when you wash.
Hot water accounts for about 30% of the average household's energy bill. So switching from hot to cold water in your washing machine could save about $50 a year. That was something that came out from Consumer NZ.
And Tara says increasingly washing powders are adapting to this trend.
A lot of detergents these days are designed to be washed at low temperatures, and that's actually going to be one of the biggest things that's going to save you money.
The type of washing machine also plays a role.
It's quite common knowledge that top loaders tend to agitate more, and therefore they're a lot harder on your clothes than front load.
That could mean holes or potentially the cost of replacing a garment. But Tara says top loaders are also harder on your budget.
I was reading that a front loader average power costs of 19 cents per load. Comparatively, a warm wash in a top loader has an average power cost of 31 cents per load. So it makes quite a significant difference.
Then there's the common sense stuff, which most of us know. Don't half fill your machine. Even doing one fewer wash each week will save money. And chuck your washing on the line or a clothes rack.
Given the climate that we have nice, windy, sunny days, putting your clothes on the line is a no-brainer to save money.
And while we've been thinking of dollars, of course there is also an environmental cost.
New Zealanders use more than 39 billion litres of water a year just for washing laundry.
That figure, released by a laundry products company in 2023, suggests it's the equivalent of leaving your shower running for 5,319 years.
Washing less is not just about saving money and time and energy, it's also about saving the environment.
And now, just before we go, and kind of just for fun, there's a theory that's been doing the rounds online, suggesting that you can clean your jeans simply by putting them in the freezer. In fact, it's kind of a debate. Some people swear by it and others disagree. What does Tara think?
Oh, Katie. Look, the reason that people want to not wash their jeans is to preserve the authenticity of the original wash. Ultimately, putting your jeans in the freezer is not going to mean that you don't have to wash them. What it means, and science has debunked this, that household freezers do not kill bacteria, is that when you bring your jeans out of the freezer, they're ultimately going to start smelling again. So, I'm sorry, but it's just not true.
And there you have it. Now let's recap. To save money by washing less, buy natural fabrics that don't smell as much. Synthetics will need more washing, but could save money on ironing costs and last longer term. Protect clothes by covering up. Use your pinny or house coat. Try to do one fewer load every week, conserving power, money, and your valuable time. Air out your clothes, your towels and bedding, and dry washing naturally on a line or rack. And maybe don't put your jeans in the freezer. Next time on Thrift, family finances. What money tips do we learn from our families, and which should we keep and which should we ditch? To listen to that app, follow us on your favourite podcast app. Special thanks to my guest in this episode, textile expert Tara Strangwick. This podcast was produced and presented by me, Katy Gosset. It was engineered by Alex Harmer, and Tim Watkin is the executive producer of podcasts and series. If you have a tip to share, you can email us at thrift@rnz.co.nz. Thanks for joining me. Ka kite.